In 1956, Brazil decided to build a brand new capital city in the middle of the jungle, from scratch. They hired the best architects in the world. They designed wide boulevards, massive plazas, and monumental buildings that looked like spaceships. It was supposed to be the city of the future, a utopia designed for democracy. But they forgot one thing: humans. Let me take you back to 1956. Brazil's capital was Rio de Janeiro, a coastal city, beautiful but crowded and too vulnerable to naval attacks. President Juscelino Kubitschek had a bold idea: move the capital inland. Build a new city in the geographic center of Brazil, a city that would unite the country and push development into the interior. But this wasn't just about politics, this was about identity. Brazil wanted to prove it was modern, forward-thinking, a nation of the future. So they hired two legends: Lúcio Costa, the urban planner who designed the master plan; Oscar Niemeyer, the architect who designed the building's curves, concrete, pure modernist genius. The plan? Build an entire capital city in just 4 years, in the jungle where there was nothing, and somehow they did it. Brasilia was inaugurated in 1960, a UNESCO World Heritage Site by 1987. On paper, it was a miracle. In practice, that's where it gets complicated. The centerpiece of Brasilia's design is the Monumental Axis. Lúcio Costa laid out the city as an airplane with the axis as its fuselage. At one end is the Three Powers Plaza with Niemeyer's iconic modernist sculptures for the government. From above, it's a stunning masterpiece, symmetrical, geometric, with buildings floating on the landscape. But it was designed to be seen from above. On the ground, you're an ant. The distances are massive, the plazas enormous. It's a city for cars and monuments, not people. Meant to be democratic, the design feels authoritarian, grand, imposing, empty. Here's where the forgot about humans part kicks in. Traditional cities are built for chance encounters, but Brasilia doesn't have that. The Monumental Axis is so wide, crossing it feels like crossing a football field. Buildings are set too far back to see inside. There are no mixed-use neighborhoods. Residential and work areas are separate. Everything requires a car. Walking is impossible, the distances are vast, and there's no shade. Even architect Oscar Niemeyer later admitted it lacked the casual interactions that make cities human. The result? A city for bureaucrats who fly in and out. The utopian city became a monument, beautiful from a distance but alienating up close. So what happened? How did two brilliant designers create something so impressive and so flawed? Mistake 1. Modernist ideology over human behavior. Costa and Niemeyer believed they could engineer a perfect society through design. Separate functions: work here, live there, recreate over there. It's rational, it's organized. But humans don't work that way. We like messy, mixed-use neighborhoods. We like walking to a cafe. We like spontaneity. Brasilia's design assumed people would behave like pieces on a chessboard. They didn't. Mistake 2. Speed over refinement. They built an entire capital in 4 years. That's insane. No time to test ideas, adjust, learn. They just executed the plan and hoped it worked. Mistake 3. Designing for symbols, not experience. The Three Powers Plaza looks incredible in photos, but standing there as a person, you feel insignificant. The scale overwhelms you. Niemeyer wanted to create monuments that represented democracy, but monuments are static. Democracy is dynamic, chaotic, human. The irony, Brasilia was supposed to bring people together. Instead, it pushed them apart. So, is Brasilia a failure? Not exactly. What it got right, it did push development into Brazil's interior. The capital moved. The mission succeeded. The architecture is iconic. Niemeyer's buildings are some of the most photographed in the world. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, recognized as a masterpiece of urban planning. It proved that modernist ideals could be built at city scale. What it got wrong? It ignored human scale, street life, and spontaneity. It became a cautionary tale for urban planners. You can't engineer utopia. It's beautiful but not livable in the way traditional cities are. Today, Brasilia is both a monument and a warning. A monument to modernist ambition, the idea that design can reshape society. A warning about hubris, the idea that designers know better than the people who actually live in the spaces they create. Brasilia is a city frozen in 1960. That's both its genius and its tragedy. Here's what we can learn from Brasilia. Lesson 1. Design for humans first, symbols second. Monuments are impressive, but cities need to be lived in, not just photographed. Lesson 2. Scale matters. What looks perfect from above can feel oppressive on the ground. Always ask, what's the pedestrian experience? Lesson 3. Cities need messiness. The best urban spaces aren't perfectly planned. They evolve, they adapt, they allow for the unexpected. Lesson 4. Ideology isn't enough. Modernism promised rational, efficient, egalitarian cities. Brasilia shows the limits of that vision. Good intentions don't automatically create good places. Brasilia is a reminder that landscape architecture and urban design aren't just about aesthetics or politics. They're about how people move, gather, and live. And when you forget that, you get a beautiful city that nobody wants to walk through. So that's Brasilia's Monumental Axis, a capital built from nothing in the jungle, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and a lesson in what happens when design forgets about humans. Beautiful? Absolutely. Livable? That's debatable. If you want more stories about the visionaries and masterpieces that shaped our built environment, subscribe to Landscape Architecture Legends. Thanks for watching, and let's travel together to the next one.